diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to give you an update on my goals and how I did in May and where I'm at for the year. We are in June, so we are in the middle of the DP for Pets paint along. I actually realized, in addition to my shaman kit, which I am working on, I could probably also count this afternoon tea kit because it's got a cute little dragling in it. And I already finished a bunny, so I may get 3 kits finished for the event. We'll see how far I get. I actually moved this one and the shaman one downstairs so I could kind of move back and forth between them, but they're going pretty quickly, so I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to get both of them done before the end of the month. So just so you guys have something to look at, I'm going to zoom in to where I'm going to be working, and then we'll dive into how I did in May and see where I'm at and if I need to make any changes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, now that I've got my drills out, I've got my timer going, let's jump into how did I do in May. So let me go through all of my diamond painting goals. The first one, as always, is my diamond painting hours. The goal for the year is 1,000 hours, which means I need to do somewhere around, I think, 80 some hours a month. I got close in May, still behind, but I got close at least. So for the month of May, I finished 62 hours and 21 minutes worth of work, which is pretty good, pretty close to that 80 some hours. Still not where I need to be if I want to make my goal. But honestly, unless I put in a lot more hours over the next several months, I don't know that I'm going to make the goal anyway. It's just a goal. If I don't make it, I don't make it. I'm working my way towards that 10,000 hours of mastery. I don't know if that's even going to be enough. I feel like there's always something for me to learn, no matter how long I've been doing this. There's always new gadgets coming out. There's always improvements being made. So we'll see if I ever get to that 10,000 hours. But 62 hours, 21 minutes for May, which means if I add that to my previous total for the year so far, which was 181 hours and 23 minutes, that means I'm sitting right now at a total of 243 hours and 44 minutes, which isn't great because, like I said, my goal is 1,000 hours. By the time we get to the end of June, I should be at 500 hours if I want to make the goal, and I'm just not even, almost, but not even halfway there at this point. I am, however, going to cut myself some slack because I have had a lot of things going on this year. We completed our move to Canada, we bought a house, we moved into our new house. We had to do all the things that go along with moving to a new place, new driver's license, all that stuff just took time away from diamond painting. Yeah, lots of things that you don't think about that just take time. So my second goal is a number of finishes, and I believe it's 35 or 36. I can't remember what I put down. I think it's 36, so it would divide evenly by 12. How many did I finish in May? Surprisingly, I finished 5 things in May. So I did way better in May than I did in April. I finished the Bubblegum Girl, which was the kit that I had from Bella Safina. I love how that one turned out. She was super nice and colorful and just a lot of fun to work on. I finished the Diamond Dots Star Wars Mandalorian one for my husband. Turned out super cute. It was nice and quick, so it didn't take me a lot of time, but it was another kit gone out of my stash, so there's that. I finished the Midnight Lanterns kit, which was one of the canvases from that Art Dot 12 pack that they sent me, just because I wanted to, when I unboxed it, to show you guys what the canvases look like completed, because it's kind of hard to tell sometimes just from opening and unboxing something what it's actually going to look like when it's finished. So I finished that one, and then, of course, I finished, by the skin of my teeth, the little snowman from Dreamer Designs with the gold and silver presents, the one that I added all the gold metallic drills and gold crystal drills to. I think he turned out super cute. I'm really happy with that one. I may get him framed and he may become some sort of seasonal decor around here. So I finished 4 things in May. If I add that to my previous total for the year so far, which is only 9, that means I'm sitting at 13. So if I figure 3 a month and where May is the 5th month, I should have been at 15. I'm at 13, so I'm not too far behind there. Still behind, but not terribly. If I can get a good couple of months in, maybe I'll get something finished. And June's looking pretty good. Like I said, so far I've already finished one kit. And if I get these two big ones done, that should be some nice diamond painting hours plus a couple more finishes. So feeling pretty good about that. My third goal for the year is to buy from more Canadian companies, which I'm sad to say I didn't do any of in May. I do want to buy from a few more places, but I just seem to miss the ones that I want to purchase from. There are some of them that only do releases every so often, and I am terrible about remembering to check on social media when those are. I haven't purchased anything. So 0 for that for this month, which added to my previous total of 3 companies means I'm still sitting at 3 companies for the year, which is definitely less than I wanted to do, but things have been crazy. So the fourth goal is generally a big one, and that is my budget. So this year I gave myself $1,800 Canadian for a budget. And to be honest, I haven't really spent a whole lot of money. Up until a couple months ago, all I'd really purchased was one kit. And I've had a couple months where I just didn't really buy anything. This month I did buy some things. I actually spent a little bit more than I intended to because I don't pay enough attention to what's in my cart. So I ordered some things from Diamond Dots because I wanted to try a square of theirs, and my local store that carries them doesn't carry. They had like one square, but it just wasn't something I was interested in. So I went out and looked online because I also wanted to get a couple of blank canvases and I wanted to get a few other items for other projects that I plan to do in the future. So I wanted to have those all ready and available whenever am to the point where I want to start those projects. So I purchased stuff from them, and then you guys, I purchased some of the 3D printed rulers. I'm not going to tell you which ones because I'm going to do some testing and stuff first before I show them to you guys so that I can like have some feedback on what do I think of them and how do they work. And I've tried other diamond painting rulers before. My thing with them has always been they just seem like it takes way more time to fuss with them and get them lined up correctly than it's worth to me because I'm not super concerned about how perfectly straight my drills are. I mean, I want them to look good, but if they're a little bit wonky, you can't really tell unless you have your nose to the canvas. And once I'm done diamond painting, nobody has their face that close to it. So I want to do a little bit of testing and everything with them before I share them with you guys because I want to have some feedback for you guys before I just say, oh yeah, I bought these. I've done that before, and everyone's first question is always, did you try them? How did it work? So I'm trying to remember to do all of that before I actually, like, rather than just unboxing and then leaving you guys hanging, I'm going to unbox, do some testing, film my thoughts, and then it'll all come out as one video. Anyway, also from Diamond Dots, I meant to buy a square kit, and somehow I ended up with 2 in my cart. I think I was looking at one of them at one point, and then I decided I wasn't going to get anything, and then I came back later and I just wasn't paying attention when I checked out, I guess. So I ended up with 2 kits, which is fine. I will do both of them probably. But I'm curious to see what their squares are like. I've had kind of a mixed bag of reviews from people when I asked. Some people said they were great, no problem. Other people said they were super gappy. So I'm wondering if that's a thing with like every other diamond painting company that it has to do with maybe sometimes you're getting an older kit, so it's a little bit more gappy versus some of the newer kits where they've tightened up the grids to fit the drills a bit better. Or maybe they changed the way they manufacture the drills so the drills fit better on the canvas. I don't know. Either way, it works better. So all that to say, for the month of May, I spent 177.40 Canadian, which for those of you in the US is 129.84. And I'm going to call it that I got 4 kits. I got 2 actual full kits, full drill square kits from Diamond Dots. And then the other 2 are actually blank canvases. But I do have in mind to do some projects with them. So I'm going to go ahead and count them as kits just for stash purposes, which made me just realize my stash count is now wrong. So I'll have to fix that in my head as we go. Okay, so for the month, I spent 177.40. If I add that to my previous total of 245.41, which is what I've spent so far, so I spent almost as much in May as I've spent the rest of the year, My total is sitting at $422.81 total spent so far in Canadian for 2025. And that means I have $1,377.19 remaining. Now, I did set the budget with the expectation that I would be spending quite a bit of that during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We'll see if that pans out either. I don't know if that's going to be true. It may depend on how far I have gotten my stash down by the time Black Friday, Cyber Monday rolls around. Maybe I will want to spend that money. I don't know. I do also still have points to spend at Diamond Art Club, so that may factor into some of that as well, but that's where I'm setting for my budget. Then the fifth goal is to finish all of my remaining spanglers. I have had at the beginning of the year 4 spanglers. So far I've completed one of them, which was the literate dragon, and now I'm working on this one. I decided to divide them up into quarters. Since there's 4, I'm going to try and complete one every quarter rather than trying to force myself to sit down and complete all 4 of them just kind of boom, boom, boom in a row. I thought I would spread them out a bit and make it a little bit easier on myself. However, I got to finish this one by the end of June because that will be July 1st is the beginning of third quarter, which means I will need to start working on the third one. So I need to get this one finished. On the upside, this one is round and it's going pretty quickly so far. So I'm hopeful that I will get both this and the shaman diamond painting that I'm doing for DP for Pets both done this month, and maybe something else. We'll see. So I don't have anything finished yet. I can't count anything in May because although I did start this one, I haven't finished it yet. So 0 finished for May, which means I am still sitting at just 1 done for the year so far. Hopefully that will change, like I said, next month. Then my next goal is to slash my stash. After the move and everything, I just decided that I had too many diamond paintings. I donated a bunch of them, passed them on to other people before we moved, but even after we moved, unloading them into the rental where we didn't have very much room, and then moving them and unloading them again into the house once we moved, I just thought, I think we would have been better off if I had saved that space, given up some more of my diamond paintings, and then we would have had that for other things that maybe were going to be a little more expensive to replace. It's just really hard to know when you move like that what to take and what to leave behind. I had so many people tell me to just leave everything and purchase everything brand new. But when you're talking about an entire household, yes, that made the move easier, but it has been more expensive than we would have liked to repurchase everything that we needed. And I mean, there's some things that we just weren't going to get around. Like, for instance, I'm sad that we didn't bring our riding lawnmower, but I mean, realistically, it would have taken up half of the trailer and we would have had to get rid of so much other stuff, not just diamond paintings. So hindsight is 2020. It is what it is. What I have is what we have, and we'll just have to make do. So spanglers still only have 1. Slashing the stash, that's what I was talking about. So here's the thing. I did 4 kits out of my stash, which gave me a -4, so that's awesome. However, because I had that 12 pack from Diamond Dots, that meant I added 12 kits to the stash. Now, one of them is included in that 4 from the finish, the -4, the Midnight Lanterns, but I added 12, I did 4, so I'm sitting at +8, which is really not where I wanted to be because I had done so well and I had gotten myself to -8 in my stash, which meant I was doing pretty good. And now I have to add 8 back in, which means my stash is sitting at basically 0 from where I started a few months ago, which is kind of depressing. Plus, I need to update that because I bought those 2 kits. Well, I'm going to call it 4, even though 2 of them are blank canvases. So if I add that, it really should be -4 plus 16 for the month, which would give me 14. And then I was already sitting at, is that right? No, I would be sitting at -12. No, +12. Math is not my strong suit, you guys. Okay, so 4 kits that I did, -4, plus the 12 art dot plus the 4 diamond dots is 16, -4 is 12. So I'm +12 for the month of May. I had -8, and if you add 12 to that, then I'm sitting at +4 for the year, which isn't terrible, I suppose, but again, is just really not where I wanted to be because I was trying to slash the stash. Now, again, some of the things that are going out, like this particular kit here that I'm working on, is 56 by 69, so it's quite large. The shaman one is quite large. The 12 art dots that I added are all like 35 by 25 kits, so they're not big. So in that respect, everything is not necessarily equal as far as the numbers reflect, but you have to quantify it somehow, right? And counting the number of kits is the easiest way to do that. I suppose I could count number of square centimeters I need to drill and things like that, but that seems unnecessarily complicated. And it's a lot of math I don't want to do because I think I've mentioned before, I don't like math. So that was my stash. And then the last goal is to do something from my Stay or Go kits. Now, last year I only had 10. And I think 3 of those 10 I passed on to other people who were going to enjoy working on them. So I only had, I think, like 5 or so left. I have done one of them because one of them was my Craftably Midnight Warrior kit, and I did finish that one. So I do have one done on that. But I didn't do, that one was finished in April. I did not do any in May out of that group. I am hoping to maybe do one, if I get to it, in June or July. Probably July. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it in June, but we'll see. We have some other things planned that may cut into how much diamond painting time I have compared to normal, but we'll see. I say that a lot. I mean, life happens, right? You make plans and then life happens and you adjust accordingly. So Stay or Go kits, I didn't do any of them in May, which means I still am sitting at 1 completed for 2025. And I'm actually adding to that because I started going back through all of the kits that came with me to Canada, and there's a couple at least so far that I'm like, do I want to keep this one? So I need to add those to the Stay or Go list as well as something that I can work from. Some of them are quite large, which is most likely why they're still sitting in my stash, although sometimes maybe it's just something I have in my head. Like I had for the longest time in my head that the shaman diamond painting was square and it was huge, which was one of the reasons I had been avoiding it. And it turns out it isn't square, it's round. So I could have done it a long time ago and probably really enjoyed it. Not that I don't enjoy squares, it's just that squares take me a lot longer. So when it's a really big kit like that and it's square, that's likely going to be the only thing I get done in a month unless I do something really small, which I can be doing now thanks to the little art dot canvases. I do have some small things that I can do, but I pretty much got rid of all of my small canvases except for one. I have one budget company kit that is a Muka that I was saving in case I wanted to do something for Summer with the Masters this year. Or if there was like a Muka Mania event, I was like, well, maybe I'll do something for that and I'll just do the small one. But I do also have 2 very large Muka kits that I could do, so I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So that's where I'm sitting at for all of my goals. Did I make any of them? Didn't make the DP hours. I did more than 3 finishes, so I'll count that as a win. No Canadian companies. I'm going to count the budget as a win because I've been way underspending the other months, so that's fine. Spanglers done. I haven't missed my deadline yet, so that's just kind of a wash. Slash my stash, I definitely went the wrong way this month. And Stay or Go kits, kind of a wash. So I guess really just my finishes. Like I said, I'm happy with the progress that I'm making on the kits that I am working on. And for those of you who don't understand why I make the diamond painting goals, that's okay. If you are not a person who likes to make goals, then awesome. That's awesome and you do you. I like the goals because it's a way to help keep myself accountable, not only to myself, but to you guys for the things that I'm trying to accomplish here. I may not accomplish everything, and that's totally fine. These are just goals that I've set for myself. The world does not end if I don't make them. I am trying to be nicer to myself and give myself a little bit of grace. As many of you have pointed out, I've had lots of things going on the last 6 months. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty well. We'll see how next month goes. If any of you are participating in DP for Pets, leave me a comment below. Let me know how far along are you. We're only a week in, so if you're a quarter of the way through, that's about good. I don't think I'm a quarter of a way through any of mine yet, but I have plans to put in some dedicated diamond painting time this weekend. We'll see how that goes for me. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.